Hello, I'm Tom Wicknick. Welcome to the KZGN News. Today, we'll bring you up to date on the future of Walmart, City Council news, as well as events coming this weekend.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyokern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News crew.
In City Council news from last Wednesday's council meeting, last night we reported that the City Council took no official position supporting or opposing the Kern County Land Use Management Plan. So now it just goes forward to the County Board of Supervisors for their action. In other council news from Wednesday's meeting, they approved a change to the Ridgecrest Municipal Code to allow emergency shelters in certain residential districts. The change was in response to the state requirement that all cities have to have these provisions in their municipal codes. This provision is required so the city can get its current housing plan approved by the state. In big news about the new Walmart store, the council took up approving the adoption of a mitigated negative declaration for the Ridgecrest Commercial Specific Plan Offset Improvements Project for the new store. This is the last approval needed for Walmart to actually pull building permits and start construction. The city of Ridgecrest has been in the process of working with Walmart to bring a new Walmart Supercenter to this community for over a decade. This effort resulted in the development of the Ridgecrest Specific Plan, which was a qualified voter-sponsored initiative adopted without alteration by the City Council on February 3, 2010. This plan governs approximately 28 acres of vacant land at the southeast corner of South China Boulevard and East Bowman Road. It allows for the development of 205,000 square foot major tenant proposed to be the Walmart Supercenter, a 16-pump fueling station and a 500 square foot building, a 25,000 square foot retail building, and a 5,000 square foot retail building. A complete description of the proposed project, its location, and issues of potential environmental concern were presented. In the case of the proposed project, the analysis presented in this initial study indicates that the mitigation measures included in the plan will reduce all identified potentially significant effects to a level of insignificance. There is no substantial evidence, in light of the whole record before the agency, that the project may have a significant effect on the environment. The attorney representing Walmart was at the meeting and provided the following update. The plan is that with the Council's approval of this negative declaration of environmental impact, Walmart will then proceed to build a new store. The schedule is that the Walmart would advertise for construction bids in May. They will award bids and break ground in July. The Council did approve the environmental report. The document is a 90-page document and is available at City Hall for public review. After more than 10 years of working on the project, it appears it will get built after all. So the next step is totally with Walmart. At the end of the meeting, the mayor proposed setting up a town hall meeting for two topics. First, have an open discussion on economic development. Second, to open more dialogue as to what people think the city can do to help water conservation. She noted when bringing up this topic that the water district was recently slapped with a new state-required reduction goal. Apparently, the Indian Wells Valley Water District was ordered a couple years ago by the state to reduce water use by 25% by 2013. Well, they failed to meet it by that date, but have since met the 25% reduction. However, since they didn't meet the original date when it was required, they are now ordered to reduce water use by 35%. So the mayor figures now would be a good time to see what the city can do to help. No date was set for this town hall, but we at KZGN-TV think town halls to get public input on issues is a great thing. In other city news, the city's Measure L committee met earlier this week. The main item on their agenda was to finalize the annual report of how Measure L funds were used by the City Council in the previous year. The committee has been working on this report for a couple months now. In response to public input and suggestions about last year's report, their goal has been to try and make the report simpler and easier to read than last year's report. Last year's report was very long, but had a lot of great detailed information, which was needed to establish a baseline for future reports, including this year's report. Committee Chairman Scott Garber opened the meeting for final review and discussion. All the members provided their final comments. They approved the report for presentation to the City Council and we the people. They're hoping to get it scheduled to present at the May 6th City Council meeting. The Media and Art Committee met recently to start getting inputs to proposed art for the medians in North China Lake Boulevard. Two local artists, Skip Gorman and Olaf Dowd, presented ideas. Skip Gorman even showed a replica of one of the ones he's proposing to be in the first position closest to the China Lake main gate. It is a statue showing ancient Indian hands throwing a weapon. It kind of depicts an ancient Sidewinder missile. Drawings were also presented by Olaf Dowd. Dowd was the designer of the petroglyphs that were used in the new Petroglyph Park on North China Lake Boulevard. Dowd suggested that the median art should be complementary to the ones in the park. The committee made no decisions yet, as they have not established the process they will use to select the art. The committee also heard from Caltrans of their requirements for median art. The main thing they presented were engineering requirements and specifications. Also concerning the median construction, the Ridgecrest Police Department and CHP want to remind everyone that the speed limit in this area is 25 miles per hour, that it is being enforced. I even read one Facebook person got a ticket for speeding there and it cost her $480. That's because fines are doubled in a construction zone. So slow down for the entire section of North China Lake Boulevard. Cerro Costa Community College Band presents its spring concert Thursday, April 23rd at 7 p.m. in the College Lecture Center. The concert is dedicated to Mick Rint, who played trumpet with the college band for many years, and will feature several trumpet solo selections in his honor. Amber Ricker and Alex Clark will perform a marimba duet of the song Fandango for mallet percussion and band. Amber is a Cerro Costa Community College graduate. Alex will graduate next spring. Directed by Deborah Veet, the concert will feature Norwegian March Valdres selections from La Miserable and Nessun Norma by the Italian composer Puccini. The concert will round out the evening with marches by Sousa and Reeves, a Pirate of the Caribbean montage, Summertime by Gershwin, and a military salute by Del Borgo. The public is invited to attend at no cost. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. In more news out of Cerro Costa Community College, 5 employees received national recognition for their leadership and contributions to higher education. Laura Vesquez, Basic Skills Director, Human Foster, Welding Faculty, Paula Suarez, Student and Counseling Director, and Ed Hodgkins, Director of Nursing, and Valerie Carnes, CSIC Project Director, were presented the John and Swan Roche Excellence Award at a national conference in Boston, Massachusetts. These 5 dedicated faculty and administrators spent the last 4 years increasing access to programs, student success, completion as well as transition into the workforce by working across the Central Valley, aligning curriculum in the disciplines of allied health, welding, and basic skills among all participating colleges in the consortium. By securing funds from a U.S. Department of Labor grant, these 5 expanded the college nursing vocation program into Lake Isabel, started a new program in medical assisting, compressed completion time of the vocational nursing and welding programs. They increased student participation by providing iPads and additional courses in home health aid and certified nursing assistant. The innovation and collaboration with other colleagues throughout the Central Valley, as well as partnering with local businesses and industry, has benefited our students greatly, said President Jill Board. KZGN congratulates these individuals. Stay tuned for more KZGN news after these messages. In other Cerro Costa news, they are hosting an open house tomorrow, Saturday, April 18th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The purpose is to provide easy registration for the summer and fall semesters, to provide guidance for new students, and to provide campus tours. So if you would like to take an easy way to see and learn about Cerro Costa Community College, plan on being there tomorrow. Again, it will run from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Cerro Costa College. Another thing happening up there at the college Saturday will be the city-sponsored Junior Olympics. More than 1,000 kids will compete with athletes from 12 schools, including Ridgecrest, Trona, and Tehachapi. The event is for students in elementary and middle schools. There will be 4 age groups in each event in both boys and girls classes. Gold, silver, and bronze medals will be presented to the winners. The events will begin at 8 a.m. and estimated to run until 2 p.m. Community members are welcome to attend. The cost to community members will be $2 each, or a whole family for $5. The Historic USO announces that tonight they will be hosting Open Mic Night at the Historic USO building on West Ridgecrest Boulevard. The theme for tonight's event will be the Eagles. Come prepared to perform at least one Eagles song. Performers will be allowed 2 songs, one of which will be any song by the Eagles. Performers without an Eagles song will share only one song of their choice. These theme nights are very popular, so come prepared with an Eagles hit or a subtitled B-side song. Again, it's tonight, April 17, 2015, 7 p.m. Audience members are encouraged. Now in KZGN's continuous effort to provide news and information you've asked for, here are today's local gas prices for your information. As of this morning, Ridgecrest is ranging from $2.99 to $3.29, plus one station sitting at $3.69. Lancaster is ranging from $2.95 to $3.29. The LA Valley area is hitting $2.85 to $3.15, and Bishop area is at $3.23 to $3.39. We have 3 stations coming in at the $2.99 figure. It now appears some surrounding area prices are now a little better than here. Let's hope that our local stations will catch up with them and drop the prices that are being seen in some areas. We will provide these prices 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Of course, we at KZGN always suggest you fill up here to support our local economy. Remember, when you pay sales tax out of town, you're helping those cities pave their streets instead of here. Our final story for today is a follow-up to a news editorial story I did a couple months ago. The editorial had to do with a couple of parents in Maryland that were in trouble with local child protective services for letting their young children walk to a park about a mile from their home with no adult supervision. They were placed on warning by Child Protective Services that they should not allow that. The parents saw nothing wrong with what they were allowing and vowed to fight on against the ruling by Child Protective Services. Well, here's where it is now in a report from Today.com News. The 2 Maryland children at the center of an investigation last year for walking home alone from a neighborhood park were taken into custody by Child Protective Services over the weekend after police picked up the unattended children about 2 blocks from their home. The children of Danielle and Alexander Mitif, who gained national attention for their free-range style parenting, were picked up by police at 5 p.m. Sunday after someone reported them walking unattended in the neighborhood. The children ages 10 and 6 had been instructed to return home from a park by 6 p.m. The parents started looking for them shortly afterward. Child Protective Services called the Mitifs around 8 p.m. to let them know that police had turned the children over to the agency. Mitif said she and her husband were allowed to see their kids around 10:30 p.m. after signing a safety plan that ensured the children would be supervised at all times, including to and from the school bus stop, until CPS followed up with them. Mitif said she and her husband planned to consult with their attorney before deciding their next steps, but that Sunday's incident did not change their view about their parenting style or whether they live in a world that's safe in general. So the fight continues. What do you think? Is letting a 6 and 10-year-old walk to a park a mile away without adult supervision okay? You decide. Stay tuned for weather and sports when we come back. Thanks for staying with us. Now let's go to Keith for the weather. How's it look out there, Keith?
It's looking great for the weekend, but before I get to that, we have for the region from the National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center. They are forecasting a risk of severe thunderstorm Friday evening across parts of the central and southern plains to the western Gulf Coast. The greatest risk will be across central and southern Texas. Large hail, damaging winds, and a few tornadoes are possible. Temperatures from across the nation. The Northeast has been in the upper 40s to upper 50s. It was 66 degrees in Chicago and the Ohio Valley, 72 degrees in Missouri, and 61 in Kansas. Along the West Coast, temps have been in the mild 50s to 70s, but for us here in the IWV and going into the weekend, things are starting to heat up once again. Starting tonight, it will be clear with a low around 52, southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday will be sunny with a high near 87, southwest wind 5 miles per hour. Saturday night will be clear with a low around 54, west-northwest wind 5 miles per hour. Sunday will be sunny with a high near 87, west-northwest wind, 5 miles per hour. Sunday night will be mostly clear with a low around 54, west wind, 5 miles per hour. Monday will be sunny with a high near 87, northwest wind, 5 miles per hour. So other than the wind, it looks great for the weekend. Be safe, keep hydrated, please don't leave animals or children unattended in vehicles. And now back to Tom.
Thanks, Keith. And now let's go to Tom Heck for our sports report.
And a very pleasant Friday afternoon. We'll start with local sports. Yesterday, on the baseball field up at Saracosa, it was Rio Hondo 12 and Saracosa 3. Rio Hondo is tied for first place. The two teams play tomorrow in Whittier. That game will be broadcast locally on 1360 AM KWDJ. Now, Saracosa has a chance to be a spoiler in that game. Rio Hondo, the defending league champion, in a virtual tie with San Bernardino Valley College, who lost to Chaffee yesterday. All right, Burroughs baseball off to a great start. John Bradley and crew, 13-3 is their record right now, 2-0 in Mojave River League play. They defeated Hesperia 3-2 on Tuesday, and then beat Hesperia again Thursday, 8-6. They'll take on Oak Hills Tuesday at Oak Hills. Now in softball, Michelle Lazzaro's team off to a pretty good start. They're 8-7 overall. They're 1-1 in league play. They defeated Hesperia this past week, 10-9 in 8 innings. You play 7 in softball and high school baseball. Anything more than that is extra. They lost to Oak Hills 7-1 over at Oak Hills. All right, 5th grade basketball league had some great games this week. The Inyo Kern boys were a winner. They defeated Las Flores. Also, the girls were a winner. They defeated Las Flores. The St. Anne's boys defeated Pierce. And the Gateway boys lost a really close game to Fowler. Over in the girls section, it was Charter losing to Richmond in a pretty close game. And then it was the Charter boys defeating Richmond in the boys' game. So some pretty good games this past week. You can catch all the action every Wednesday up at Saracosa for the next 3 weeks. All right, let's talk about track. This from Anthony Barnes. Burroughs runs into a tough Serrano team. Burroughs went over to Serrano this past week. Serrano very strong. They lost 109-22. The girls did, and the boys 100-27. He mentioned some very good efforts in the girls' side. Madison Felix and Jennifer Kendall had a great meet. Madison placed in all 4 events, including the long jump. She was first in the discus, second in the shot put, and third in the long jump, and third in the triple jump. Boy, she is quite a field athlete there. Jennifer contributed a first in the shot put at 35-3 and second in the discus. Other placers included Michelle Pettit and Taylor Williams. Over on the boys' side, Tyler Moulton came away with the only boys win of the day, placing first in the shot put at 49 feet 75 inches, beating his rival Barndon Lebrecht from Serrano. So congrats to Tyler Moulton. Boy, he has got takes a lot of strength and good technique to throw a shot that far. That's college level shot put right there. All right, also a lot of second place finishers. Malik McIntosh in the 1600, Zach Newberry in the long jump and triple jump, and Tyler Watts in the 100-yard dash. Jonathan Villa in the 300 intermediate hurdles, and Joe Humphrey was the other top finisher in the triple jump. Next match will be the 22nd on Wednesday up at Saracosa. They'll take on Sultana. That from Anthony Barnes. Appreciate him sending us something. All right, before we leave you, basketball fans, NBA, get ready. This Saturday and Sunday begins the first round. And who will be the champions this year? Boy, it could be a lot of different teams. I don't think there's really, besides Golden State, one that can really brag right now. The Hawks have the second best record in basketball, but they've been struggling lately. We'll see what happens. The Hawks will take on the Nets. Unfortunate the Pacers didn't get in. That would have been a better series than the Hawks and the Nets. They're going to win that in 4. The Nets aren't very good. The Celtics will play the Cavaliers. The Celts are 7, the Cavaliers 2. LeBron and company should win that one. The Bucks and the Bulls, that'll be interesting though. That's 2 teams that are playing well right now. I give the Bulls the advantage. Washington and Toronto, flip a coin on that one. Toronto has home court advantage, so maybe a slight edge there. Over in the West, the Pelicans and Golden State. I'll tell you what, the other night when the Pelicans beat San Antonio, you could probably hear the sigh of relief from Golden State because they won't have to play against Oklahoma City in the first round. When the Pelicans won, they defeated San Antonio last game of the season, and San Antonio played their players because that was an important game for them because they slipped 2 spots after that loss. The Pelicans ended up as the number 8 team from New Orleans. So that's better if you're Golden State than having to play Oklahoma City right now. The Mavs are number 7. They'll play the Rockets 2. That'll be a good series. Hard to pick that one. That could go either way, even though it's a 7 and a 2. Spurs and the Clippers. Boy, talk about another what could be a Hall of Fame series. The Spurs are number 16 because they lost their last game against the Clippers, who started the week out at 5. That's how close it is. And then the Blazers and Grizzlies. Blazers 4, Grizzlies 5. You pick one. It could go either way. It's going to be a lot of fun if you're an NBA basketball fan. Have a good weekend. Tom Heck for KZGN Sports.
So that's the news for today. All of us at KZGN-TV know you have a choice in what you watch for your news. We all thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only community TV station.